President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, might face challenges in deporting illegal immigrants as easily as he anticipated. According to The Nation, Democrats are urging President Joe Biden to issue a blanket pardon for over 15 million undocumented illegal immigrants. Correspondent Chris Lehman suggests Biden adopt a bold strategy in his final days, using his pardon power far and wide to protect illegal immigrants, including asylum seekers and children under the age of 12, from potential mass deportation plans under the future Donald Trump administration. Now, this is absolutely crazy to me. I cannot for the life of me imagine how President Biden would give a blanket pardon to 15 million people that broke the law breaking into the country. But Democrats never cease to shock me when it comes to caring more about illegal immigrants than actual American citizens. While such a sweeping pardon could block deportation for crimes like illegal entry or visa overstay, it wouldn't provide citizenship or legal status. U.S. law limits pardons to removing legal consequences for crimes. They don't grant permanent residency or pathway to citizenship. Still, a broad pardon could complicate Trump's deportation efforts, as pardoned individuals may no longer face charges for their immigration-related offenses. So essentially, we wouldn't make you a citizen, but we would immediately wipe clean your record that you illegally snuck into the country, that you illegally broke into the country. And so this is the new wild hair scheme of the Democrat Party. Now, unfortunately, this idea isn't just from a lone news reporter that likes Democrats and President Biden. Boston immigration attorney Matt Cameron supports the concept, noting there is no reason the constitutional provision allowing the president to pardon offenses against the United States couldn't include civil violations of the Immigration and Naturalization Act. It's never been used that way, but I agree it should be. So more and more people are now piling on that it's time for President Joseph Robinette Biden to use his final gasp as president to pardon 15 million illegal immigrants and give them an immediate pathway to citizenship that even Donald Trump himself couldn't block as the new incoming president. Now, I think this attorney's idea is horrible. Pardoning every illegal immigrant who came here illegally won't solve any of our country's problems. In fact, it still leaves them unable to work, produce income, and pay back into the tax system, thus closing the loop and making it a good system again. They would continue to not speak English, use our hospitals, use our schools, and depend on our social safety net programs. Now, it could actually make things worse by incentivizing even more people to try to come to the United States illegally. Needless to say, Democrats are clearly getting desperate. Unfortunately, Trump keeps handing them ammunition with things that he says during interviews. In a recent NBC News interview, Trump made controversial comments targeting mixed status families, stating, if a migrant is in the U.S. illegally, but their family is here legally, then the family has a choice. The person who came in illegally can leave, or they can all leave together. Now, I like Trump, but sometimes the way he says things gives Democrats and the mainstream media fodder to be able to use against him. Now, I know he isn't talking about forcing legal American citizens to be pushed out of the country, and I know he's not threatening anyone. But they're using this as if he did make that threat. What Trump was trying to say is families have a choice. You can let the illegal part of your family go, or if you're so upset about it, you can all go together. That's what he was trying to say, but that's not how the mainstream media is spinning it. Of course it's not. They do everything in their power to make President Trump look like a racist, xenophobic human being, when in fact, he's just trying to clean up the United States of America. And honestly, it has to happen. It has to happen. Of course, we are a country of immigrants. My family, 5 generations back, immigrated here legally. Many people, millions and millions of people come here legally, but there's now 15 million that have come here illegally. Now, as reports indicate that Joe Biden will soon issue more controversial pardons, Senator Rand Paul has specifically voiced his opposition to Biden's consideration of preemptively pardoning Dr. Anthony Fauci. Senator Paul stated, "I've sent criminal referrals on Dr. Anthony Fauci twice to the Department of Justice without a response. I will send the referral again when President Trump takes office. If they preemptively pardon Fauci, it will seal his fate as the architect, author, and godfather of the pandemic." Now, let me know over in the comments, do you believe that President Biden is going to pardon Dr. Anthony Fauci? If you do, I want you to type Y. And if you don't, I want you to type N. Personally, I believe he is going to try to pardon Dr. Anthony Fauci. And if he doesn't refuse it, then I believe that Republicans are going to make Dr. Fauci's life a living hell, because many of them are bitter about the forced lockdowns, the forced masks, the masking of children, the shutting down of schools, the destroying of businesses, and the giant waste of money that it cost the American people. So I believe that they are going to go after Anthony Fauci, which is why President Biden is thinking of preemptively pardoning him. But I think that is a bad move. And if they do, then the gloves are off. Now you have to go after him. And if he lies, then boom, you've got him on a new crime. But we know that he's lied. He's lied to Congress, which is against the law. He has perjured himself multiple times. And Rand Paul, Senator Rand Paul, he's just been waiting for a Justice Department that actually has the balls to go after somebody. We've got to get Merrick Garland out, and we have to get Pam Bondi in. But I believe they are going to do that. Now, one user on X weighed in on Dr. Fauci's potential pardon, stating, "Now the world will get to see how corrupt America has become during Obama's third term by the number of those being preemptively pardoned by Biden. If you don't have a crime and you believe you're innocent, why on earth would you need a presidential pardon?" Now, again, what do you think about Fauci's potential pardon? Do you think President Biden will go through with it? On the one hand, it will make both Fauci and Biden look guilty. It will make them look like they are covering up crimes. It will make most people lose faith in science and the medical establishment. And ultimately, I believe it will force Republicans' hands to then go after Fauci in order to jail him for what he has done. I'm telling you, there are people that are pissed beyond belief. New studies show that over 50% of Americans believe someone they know or someone in their family was vaccine injured or died from the clot shots, from the jabs, from the miracle shots. And I'm telling you, he needs to either clear his name and we all move on, or he needs to go to jail, and then RFK Jr. needs to step in and he needs to clear out everything that Dr. Fauci touched, from AIDS up to the COVID pandemic. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. While you're typing that, I want to tell you about tonight's sponsor, the Wellness Company. And then I have some really damning details about assassin Luigi Mangione that might give clarification as to why he murdered the CEO of United Healthcare, Brian Thompson. Let me know while this goes ahead and plays, and then I want to tell you guys about Luigi Mangione. sinus infections, strep throat, upper respiratory hacking. Everyone is traveling and passing it all around. But guess what? You don't have to deal with this year, folks. Why? Because this little blue case is your mobile urgent care. It has ivermectin, Z-Pak, amoxicillin, and 6 other prescription medications at your fingertips. Thanks to the wellness company's medical emergency kit, you can tackle anything severe your body comes across without ruining your holiday plans or ending up in urgent care. This kit cuts through the red tape by allowing you to take control of your health versus being reactive and inconvenienced during precious family time. You don't need a gatekeeper because their medical board created a guidebook that outlines common treatments for UTI, strep throat, bacterial infection, respiratory illness, and more. All it takes is filling out a digital intake form, and your kit arrives at your door within 1 to 2 weeks. Travel with peace of mind this holiday season. Order your kit now by heading to twc.health/amazing and use code AMAZING to save up to $30 off plus free shipping. That's twc.health/amazing. Use code AMAZING and you can get up to $30 off plus free shipping right now for USA residents only. So you guys, I'm just reading your comments and you agree with me that he should not be pardoned. And you guys are saying that he should be investigated. And I want my community to know that I completely agree with you. The health damage that I received from getting Delta COVID back to back, it was awful. And I know that a lot of you got the shot. Some of you were pressured to get the shot, but many of you, you went through this, and some of you had a really hard time, and others, it was like a common cold. So it affected people differently, but they lied, they covered it up, they funded it, and then they blamed China for everything. And Dr. Fauci needs to be held accountable. All right, now for the assassin in New York City that killed CEO of United Healthcare, Brian Thompson. I have some incredible details for you. New details are emerging about Luigi Mangione, the suspect accused of killing United Healthcare CEO. He reportedly claimed during his initial court appearance that some of the evidence brought against him when he was arrested at McDonald's has been planted. For example, over $8,000 of cash and close to $2,000 in foreign currencies were in a backpack. He says this money was not his, that it was planted on him. And so now he's trying to block the authorities from extraditing him from Pennsylvania, where he was arrested, back to New York City, where the murder was committed. And he's saying that he is being set up. He's not saying he didn't do it, but he's saying that he's being set up. Now, another thing that was interesting was Mangione is not denying that he did this, but he's saying, I don't know where this waterproof bag full of cash came from. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that he's just throwing this out there in order to confuse people? Or do you think that maybe they planted evidence against him? Now, as noted in yesterday's daily news, Luigi Mangione is currently being held without bail in Pennsylvania and is being charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm, as well as the death of Brian Thompson. Luigi Mangione's family also remains in shock like the rest of us and is deeply devastated by the actions of their son and brother. They stated, unfortunately, we cannot comment on news reports regarding Luigi Mangione. We only know what we have read in the media. We offer our prayers to the family of Brian Thompson, and we ask people to pray for all involved. We are devastated by this news. So it sounds like His siblings are completely caught off guard. His mom and dad completely caught off guard. Neighbors, family members, roommates, people that he went to church with, people he went to school with, they're all saying none of this adds up. None of it makes sense. This was a good kid. This kid was a very good kid. Now, I've learned some very interesting things, and having been through back injury myself, this might give some insight into what is going on. So just like I showed in the thumbnail of this video, Luigi Mangione dealt with terrible back pain after suffering an accident while surfing in Hawaii. From photos, his roommate, social media posts, we're learning that Luigi Mangione had a very invasive surgery on his lower back and spine. Now, apparently, this injury left him with the inability to have sex and may have caused permanent erectile dysfunction. This is where perhaps his out-of-nowhere anger and frustration and disappearing from friend circles likely comes from. So many of his friends are saying, wait a minute, this guy 6 months ago, he just disappeared. He stopped going to family events. He was complaining to his roommate about the pain in his back. Now, apparently, this surfing injury in Hawaii, again, left him unable to have sexual relations and may be because of erectile dysfunction. His roommate told reporters that he complained about his back and the inability to have sex. Now, imagine being a 25-year-old male with your whole life ahead of you, and you have this problem, this chronic pain, this erectile dysfunction issue. Then on top of that, you add in chronic pain, back and forth fighting with your doctor, insurance providers. What will they cause, or what will they cover? What won't they cover? And fighting likely led towards bad feelings towards United Healthcare and the CEO of United Healthcare. More will likely come out about this, but I wanted to give you guys an insight into why a relatively healthy, handsome, happy young man, 26 years old at this point, suddenly decides to go kill the CEO of a $500 billion company. It just doesn't make sense unless he's dealing with pain, he's dealing with frustration, he's dealing with sexual frustration, feeling like he's lonely, he'll never have a normal life ahead of him, and suddenly he has no reason to live, nothing to live for, no joy to live for, right? Like, I'm just trying to imagine what a 26-year-old male is possibly thinking. So anyway, I hope that's helpful, because even his family and friends, they're saying he kind of just disappeared 6 months ago, and this is totally out of character. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts over in the comments. What do you think? Do you think that this dysfunction had anything to do with fighting with doctors, being angry at insurance, being frustrated with life? I think it's very interesting. I think there's some valid points there. But again, we're going to see what's going on. Obviously, he could have been dealing with onset mental illness, depression. Now, while the investigation continues to play out, Trump allies are focused on enhancing the red wave that hit in this recent election. During a recent appearance on Fox News, conservative activist Scott Presler outlined his effort to shift the state of New Jersey's political alignment from blue to red, following his role in helping Donald Trump win the state of Pennsylvania. Now, most of you have probably forgotten this, but a couple of years ago, Governor Murphy of New Jersey almost lost to a Republican candidate. During Trump's New York trial, he went to Wildwood, New Jersey, where 100,000 people showed up to support him in New Jersey. So this Scott Presler who helped Donald Trump win the state of Pennsylvania, is saying, wait a minute, we could pick up over 10 electoral college votes if we can take New Jersey. Now, New Jersey is a fairly conservative state, similar to upstate New York. It's New York City and the capital of New Jersey that are very blue and very Democrat. And so Scott Pressler is saying, I think we could actually flip New Jersey like we did Pennsylvania. Here's what Scott Pressler had to say. We are going to use the Pennsylvania model of voter registration and not reinvent the wheel, but just take all of those things we learned and apply them to New Jersey. And we're going to play it smarter, not harder. Now, wouldn't that be amazing? If they could flip down the road, they could flip Pennsylvania like Trump did in the past, and also to flip New Jersey. I think it would just be absolutely cool. Now, Pressler added, one of the biggest hurdles that we had going into the 2024 presidential election is a kind of getting conservatives to get on board with mail-in voting, early voting, understanding our all of the above approach to ultimately trying to get Pennsylvania to swing in Donald Trump's favor. 1/4 of Pennsylvania's border joins with New Jersey. There's a lot of shared values between Pennsylvania and New Jersey. All in 2025, we're going to Wildwood. That's where Philly goes to the beach. Let's register voters. So I think, when I saw the Democrat Governor Murphy, almost lose to a Republican, I thought, wait a minute, New Jersey is much more red than I ever knew, because I've never been to New Jersey. But now Scott Pressler says the next person that runs with Trump's blessing and all of this effort, he believes that he can flip it. Now, next week, Pressler will attend the Sussex County Christmas party in New Jersey, where his organization aims to build connection along the Pennsylvania-New Jersey border. I think this is awesome, and I really hope that Trump will deliver and then set whoever's going to run for president up next time. Likely, it will be J.D. Vance, but it's not guaranteed that it will be J.D. Vance. But either way, Trump needs to deliver so that all the people that he brought in to the Republican Party will stay in the Republican Party. Now, in regards to political realignment, Florida House Representative Susan Valdes has switched from the Democrat Party to the Republican Party. She made this announcement yesterday. Here's what she had to say. I come from a family of Democrats, and partly because I believe the Democrats were the party most concerned with the working families I represent, I will not waste my final 2 years in the Florida legislature being ignored in a caucus whose leadership expects me to ignore the needs of my community. Effective immediately, I will change my registration from Democrat to Republican. So boom, another Democrat in leadership flipping to the Republican Party. I'm going to see if I can get her on my show, just like I got the woman out in California who was basically the Chuck Schumer of California. She flipped Democrat to Republican, and now she's all in on the MAGA Trump train. In a way, Joe Biden's 4 years as president has done one thing. It has opened the eyes of the American people. It made people see how manipulative the Democrat Party can be, and showed us why Donald Trump and the working class people are the future of America. Now, in a post on Truth Social, Donald Trump seemed to walk back his comment made by Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau when he joked about Canada becoming the 51st state of America. Donald Trump stated, "It was a pleasure to have dinner with the other night with Governor Justin Trudeau of the great state of Canada. I look forward to seeing the governor again soon so that we may continue our in-depth talk on tariff and trade, the result of which will be truly spectacular for all." Now, Donald Trump, in addition to being a very funny person and a great president, loves to troll people, and he loves to say things that will get attention. And that's exactly what he did. I mean, he is absolutely trolling the mainstream media and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Oh, Governor Trudeau, I look forward to talking to you from the great state of Canada. Let me know what you guys think. Again, if you're just watching, Democrats are trying to get Joe Biden to pardon over 15 million illegal immigrants so they have a pathway to citizenship. They're also trying to pardon Dr. Anthony Fauci. I want to know from you guys, do you agree with this? Do you want Biden to do that? Or do you think that is the wrong move for the country? If you think it's the right move, I want you to type R. And if it's the wrong move, I want you to type W. For me, I'm a big W. I think it's wrong. I think it's the wrong move. These people can come back when they come back legally, and then we can put them to work. They can make money for their family. They can pursue the American dream as hard as they want. And then they can pay into the tax system, the welfare programs. And if you are contributing, it's great. And if you're not, then you need to get out. You need to get out of here, because it is so unfair to our senior citizens that worked and paid into Social Security their whole life to now have illegal immigrants come in and get better benefits on day one. It is unfair for illegal immigrants to come here and to get better treatment than our military veterans who fought for our country. It is unfair to people seeking medical care to have to wait in line at the emergency room because an illegal immigrant is in front of you. And it's unfair to our children and our grandchildren to take away their teachers because now they have to deal with foreign illegal immigrants that do not speak English. So I think it's the wrong move. But again, we'll have to see what ends up happening. All right, now there's thousands of you right now. If you could give this video a like, I would really appreciate that. I love you guys. Stay amazing, and I will see you on the next video.